Manchester United don't really need another flashy midfielder. They need someone who can cover ground, survive chaos, and turn broken phases of play into something controllable. And right now, there's a 20-year-old in the Premier League doing exactly that every single week, who most people still aren't even talking about properly. While the focus stays on the usual names, one of the most complete young midfield profiles in the league is developing at Sunderland, and United are watching. It's been a long time since Man United supporters felt confident about the midfield. United went through the summer without signing a midfielder despite losing Christian Eriksen, and it's left the squad short in both depth and balance. The solution so far has been to lean on Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro pivot, effective in moments but not sustainable. Casemiro's physical decline is visible, Bruno is being asked to do too much, and the players who should be stepping in haven't. Kobbie Mainoo has barely featured in the league and hasn't started a match. Ugarte hasn't moved closer to becoming a trusted option. The result is a midfield that struggles with athleticism, transitional control and second balls. United know this can't continue. That's why the club is already mapping out midfield targets well ahead of the next major rebuild phase. Players who can operate at Premier League speed, handle pressure and offer long-term value, which brings us to one of the league's quiet standouts this season. Sunderland have been one of the biggest surprises in the Premier League this season. Newly promoted sides are meant to survive. Sunderland are competing, sitting comfortably in the top half, and a huge part of that is the reliability of their midfield. At the heart of it is Noah Sadiki. At just 20 years old, he has started virtually every league game and rarely comes off the pitch. That alone tells you something. Managers don't hand that responsibility to young players unless they trust them completely. Sadiki isn't a highlight reel midfielder. He doesn't score goals or rack up assists. What he does is far more valuable for a team trying to control games without dominating possession. He carries the ball under pressure, he breaks up the play, he keeps things moving forward, and he plays like someone far more experienced than his age suggests. And when you watch him closely, you see a player who doesn't panic. He absorbs pressure and releases it elsewhere. That's a rare trait. The easiest way to describe Sadiki is this. He's a transition midfielder. He thrives in moments where the game is messy. Second balls, broken phases, turnovers in midfield. That's where he shines. On the ball, he isn't extravagant, but he is progressive. He moves the ball forward either by carrying the ball or finding vertical passes. He doesn't slow the game down unnecessarily, but he doesn't force it either. Off the ball, he's aggressive and intelligent. He reads danger early, steps into passing lanes, and engages opponents without diving in recklessly. His positioning is one of his strongest traits. He's often in the right place before the danger fully develops, where he doesn't need to dominate in the air. He's not an aerial enforcer. His game is based on mobility, anticipation and ground duels rather than physical dominance, and that's fine because modern Premier League midfielders are increasingly defined by their ability to manage space and tempo, not just win headers. This is a player who turns chaos into control. So why does this matter for United? Because United's midfield issue isn't creativity, it's structure. United struggles when games open up. They struggle when presses are bypassed. They struggle when opponents counter quickly. And they struggle when the midfield lacks someone who can absorb pressure and keep things stable. Sadiki directly addresses those problems. He brings athletic coverage in midfield, ball carrying through pressure, defensive engagement without recklessness, positional discipline, and Premier League adaptation at a young age. He wouldn't replace Bruno, he wouldn't replace Mainoo. He would instead complement them. A midfield with Mainoo's composure or Bruno's risk-taking and Sadiki's mobility and disruption certainly looks far more balanced. He also offers tactical flexibility. He can sit deeper, operate as the holding midfielder and even drop into defensive areas when needed. The versatility is crucial for a coach who wants to maintain control without sacrificing intensity. And crucially, he fits the age and profile United are now targeting. Players can grow with the team rather than arrive fully formed and expensive. Here's the reality. Players like this don't stay under the radar for long. A 20-year-old starting every week in the Premier League for a top half side is going to attract attention. The longer United wait, the more competition there will be and the higher price will climb. United already know they need multiple midfielders over the next 2 windows. They also know that waiting for perfect targets has cost them in the past. Sadiki represents something different. Lower risk than overseas signings, more athletic than current options, younger than most alternatives and already proven at the league level. He may not be the headline name, but it might be the smartest move because every successful midfield has someone who does the work others don't get credit for. And right now, the player is quietly building his reputation at Sunderland while Man United watch closely.